To parents, don't give an inch on this. Speak up. Violence is never the answer. But show up, speak up, and a lot of the times the books that are being complained about by parents, you can't even read in the public hearing. And I won't read it today. But somebody needs to understand that this is a big issue.
There's no one in this committee that believes that children should have access to materials that are inappropriate for their age. There is no one that believes that children should have access to inappropriate pornographic materials. This to me is about something deeper that's going on in the American culture right now that is really troubling. And that's why I want to pick up where he talked about what's going on in our schools. I actually agree with Ranking Member Graham that I don't see much Congress can do. We will make no laws addressing this. But I do think it's important that we hold a committee like this to talk to these larger issues.
All right, Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory due to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. I'd like to give double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, where I learned this truth from, and I'd like to say peace and salutations unto the hopefully elect. And today I just want to go into this article from USA Today, and it says, "Don't give an inch on this. Lawmakers argue over book bans and heated hearing." So I'm just going to go into this article a little bit and then bring out a few scriptures. Lord willing, this lesson is edifying and straight to the point. Now, as you can see, they're pretty much arguing about, the types of books that are being, read to children in these schools, and we know, just for an example, the drag story time, that they had in a particular school, but, they're also, pretty much promoting that alternative lifestyle to children, sickness. So it says, Capitol Hill became the latest arena for a growing fight over book bans as lawmakers debated their implementation for children, among other culture war controversies. Book banning in schools and libraries, often in response to parent or community complaints, hit a record high last year. While some say the movement is a form of censorship targeted at narratives by or about alphabet people or people of color, others argue the restrictions are meant to protect children from sexually graphic and explicit stories. Now, that's exactly what it is, because why are they trying to push, sexually explicit material to children? Like, it it doesn't make sense. Now, we know why, ultimately, because they're trying to, legalize that I'm going to just say that the acronym MAPS. They're trying to legalize that, they're trying to make it a normal thing when in reality, that's not okay. It's not normal at all. And then you even have people that are currently serving prison time for those particular acts. But, this is just the society we live in. It says the issue has become deeply partisan, with Republicans and Democrats sparring across levels of government on the campaign trail, and most recently on Tuesday during a Senate committee on the judiciary hearing. Here's what you need to know about the heated debate in Congress. It says parental rights take center stage. Much of the focus Tuesday was on the rights and responsibilities of parents in the education of their children. Republican candidates and lawmakers across the country for years have leaned into some parents' concerns about what is being taught in the classroom. Presidential candidate and Florida Governor Ron DeSantis signed the parental rights in education bill dubbed "Don't Say Gay" by opponents, which bars discussion of sexual orientation or gender identity in certain grades. The State Board of Education expanded the law earlier this year applying to grades K through 12. And then, you know, they say the don't say that. But meanwhile, you know, look what's being pushed, man. Come on. Says the race for Virginia's governor in 2021 hinged on education and parental rights. It's like after Democratic candidate Terry McAuliffe said in a debate, "I don't think parents should be telling schools what they should teach." His opponent, Glenn Youngkin, jumped on the statement to fuel his win that fall. President of Parents Defending Education, Nicole Neely of Virginia, testified before the Senate committee Tuesday about her own frustration. "It is not evil to want to be involved in your child's education," Neely said. "Every time a parent is falsely accused of wanting to ban a book because of a reasonable concern about subject matter appropriateness, neighbors are pitted against each other." But other witnesses disagree. A second-year student at Brandeis University, Cameron Samuels, on Tuesday said students are the top stakeholders in education and need more of a voice on the issue of books being removed from schools. In their opening statement, Samuel described their experience as a high schooler in Katy, Texas, standing alone in a school board meeting, facing a room full of adults and speaking out against book bans for their students. Students should own our education and have the ability to make discussions about our education, Samuel said on USA Today after the hearing. Congress needs to recognize that and shape policy that is conducive. You know. So it's madness, man. It's madness. They're pretty much, you know, which is nothing new. You know, they're pretty much trying to over-sexualize children so they can normalize the whole MAPS thing, man. Just going to read a little more, play this other clip, and then, you know, that'll be it. It says, book banners say they want local control. Julianis, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but said, what's more local than controlling what takes place in your own household? Ranking member Lindsey Graham later pushed Giannoulias on his statements, asking the father of three, "Are you telling taxpayers of this country to shut up?" Hailing Ron DeSantis and his education policies as an example, Graham said governors and local leaders along with parents have a right to ensure agendas are not being pushed on children. So pretty much, you know, their agenda is still being pushed. You know, look at what's being, you know, showed to them on TV. Now, they said, you know, they don't want to be shown, you know, that graphic material, but children also have phones, which have access to the internet. So, you know, these children have access to things that they shouldn't have just with phones alone. Now, it's understandable with these books, but, you know, still sickening, man. But I'm just going to play this clip right quick, and then I'm just going to say in advance, Salakia for my folly, you know, but it said, don't say, you know, the G word. So for fair use purposes, you know, I'm going to use this.
This happened to us.
Stuff like this happens to us all the time, Granddad.
We're done for. Why gays? Why couldn't it have been Mexicans or Indians from India? Everyone makes fun of them.
Now, Granddad, before you go crazy, let me explain.
Yes. Please explain yourself, grandson. The video was deceivingly edited. This is all just some crazy misunderstanding, right?
But it really was gay.
Oh, no, that's your explanation? Do you know what you've done to us? We're doomed. We'll be blacklisted in Hollywood. Now I'll never host the Oscars.
But it was gay. Why should I have to apologize? I saw gay, so I said gay. That ain't bullying. That's an astute observation. Did the laws of the universe change and nobody told me? Niggas gotta apologize for being right?
I'm going to get my belt and change the laws of the universe on your narrow behind. I know that.
If I'm not allowed to call gay stuff gay, then what am I supposed to call it? What's the okay word for gay?
You call it nothing. From now on, you see something gay, I don't care how gay it is. It could be gayer than a San Francisco butt plug convention. You look the other way. If it's gay, look the other way. Got it? Oh,
Yeah, pretty much, those that are familiar, with the Boondocks. No, but pretty much they said don't say that word, but, just like he said, I seen it, so I said it. So I'm going to start in the book of Isaiah, chapter 3, and verse 9. It says, "The shore of their countenance doth witness against them. They declare their sin as Sodom, they hide it not. Woe unto their soul, for they have rewarded evil. It's like for they have rewarded evil unto themselves." So yes, pretty much, you still have this place trying to push that alphabet agenda, to children, because again, they're trying to legalize, that whole MAPS thing. If you don't know what MAPS stand for, minor attracted persons, which is just a clean way of saying, the other word for that, the P word, the P file, one of those. They're trying to pretty much make that a normal thing. This is why they're trying to, push these sexually explicit books, to children. And as it says, grades, from kindergarten to, the 12th grade, it's madness. And this is what, the agenda of Esau Edom is. He's pretty much trying to groom these children so he can pretty much live out, his sick fantasy. Man, this is an extremely sick place we live in. So I'm going to come to the book of Joel, chapter 3, and verse 3. And it says, "And they have cast lots for my people, and have given a boy for an harlot, and sold a girl for wine, that they might drink." Now, yes, even though this is pretty much going into when, our people were sold, during slavery, they said, a boy was given for an harlot. Now, pretty much that's what they're trying to do. They're preying on these children, and they pretty much want to, take their innocence away, by pushing this graphic material onto them, so that they can pretty much accept, this agenda. But, again, it's not right. It's not right at all. And I can understand why, these parents are upset, because again, this is sickening. I would really hate to be, a child in 2023, or even still in school, because of the madness that's being pushed here, man. Like, America is an extremely sick place, man. Slocky. This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 10 and verse 6, and it says, "Folly is set in great dignity, and the rich sit in low place." Now, yes, you do have folly that's pretty much being set, in great dignity. So pretty much, you have the alphabet agenda. You pretty much have these degenerate celebrities, especially those of our people, that are being pushed, pretty much madness is being pushed on an all-time high. The rich being the nation of Israel, because we're in a lower state. We're really the rich, But, we're still in this lower state because, we have to pretty much serve, our captivity for going off. But, man, this is an evil world. It's like I'm gonna reopen it. Man, it's crazy, man. So I'm going to come to the book of Romans, chapter 1. And I'm going to start at 24. And it says, "Wherefore Yahweh also gave them up to uncleanness through the lust of their own hearts, to dishonor their own bodies between themselves, who changed the truth of Yahweh into a lie, and worship and serve the creature more than the Creator, who is blessed forever. Amen. For this cause Yahweh gave them up unto vile affections, for even their women did change the natural use into that which is against nature. And likewise also the men, leaving the natural use of the woman, burned in their lusts one toward another, men with men, working that which is unseemly, and receiving in themselves the recompense of their error, which was meat." And pretty much, again, that alternative lifestyle is being pushed to children, on an all-time high, and it's only going to get worse. That's just, light, books. But who knows what else they're really teaching children, because they're also having these transformers, come to these schools to pretty much groom them and indoctrinate them with accepting, that particular lifestyle, which, is extremely sickening, man. But this is just the reason why America has to be destroyed, So before I grab that, I'm going to go to the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 9. And it says, "Know ye not that the unrighteous shall not inherit the kingdom of Yahweh? Be not deceived. Nor fornicators, nor idolaters, nor adulterers, nor effeminate, nor abusers of themselves with mankind, so homosexuality, nor thieves, nor covetous, nor drunkards, nor revelers, nor extortioners shall inherit the kingdom of Yahweh." So pretty much, mainly those of our people, that are doing these things, they aren't going to make it, because these things are evil. But as far as the other nations, they aren't going to make it anyway, but those of our people that are doing these things, they're not going to make it. So just lucky, bear with me. And I'm going to end it on this. It's the book of 2 Peter chapter 2 and verse 6. And it says, "And turning the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah into ashes, condemned them with an overthrow, making them an ensample unto those that after should live ungodly, and delivered just Lot, vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked. For that righteous man dwelling among them, and seeing and hearing, vexed his righteous soul from day to day with their unlawful deeds." And yes, pretty much we're in that same spirit, those of us that are truly sincere, we're in that same spirit that Lot was in, we're vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked, because we have to hear these things, we have to see it. And this is just one of many examples, they're pushing these sexually explicit books onto children, it's vexing. It's extremely vexing, And then I know a lot of brothers and sisters that have, may have children. So, it's like the apostle said, I'm not, personally, giving any advice, but, that I'm just gonna say this. I'm just gonna reword it, but pretty much public school is not the best place for your children right now because of the things that are being pushed. You know, this is madness. You know, this is just the books alone. You know, because again, we already know the bigger agenda is to pretty much legalize, you know, maps, which is madness. So again, this is why America has to be destroyed. So, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. I'd like to give double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who I learned this truth from. And I'd like to say peace and salutations unto the hopefully elect. To the next time I say Shalom.